to Elegbete TV and Radio.
Hello, everybody. What's up, people? My name is Timmy Dakolo, and you're listening to Elegbete TV Radio. Stay tuned.
Elegbete TV Radio. Redefining broadcasting. Listen. You're listening to Elegbete TV and Radio.
Yeah, this is Saved by the Bell. Is how you can describe England as escaping from Slovakia's tight grip. It was last-minute reminiscence of what happened at the Nou Camp in 1999, Manchester United versus Bayern Munich on that night in the Champions League. But this time around, it is the Euros, and it was a different situation. I'd already written a script of my intro for the show this morning, but it is what it is. England find a way to come back, and they say nothing is as sweet as a comeback story, whether in football or in real life. So kudos to England for coming back from the dead. No matter how bad you want to look at them, the fact that they were able to huff and puff. Yes, I see Nigerians mocking England, but the same way England have been huffing and puffing in this tournament is the same way Nigeria huffed and puffed. I went all the way to the finals of the AFCON, came back out of it without winning it, but they were given national honors. The president was there to welcome them. So maybe the same thing would happen to England, I don't know. But is this the year where England eventually wins it? Well, stranger things have happened in football. This is not going to be strange if it happens, but you know, I have to understand that being an England fan is one of the most fascinating things in football world. How do I mean? You know, they can brag about having the best league in the world, which I do not agree with. I think that league is scripted. That league is, you know, is a whole lot, but not the best. Okay, it's a lot of things, marketing masterpiece, but definitely not the best when it comes to quality football. But hey, the English fans would have a different opinion. As much as they will say that, England fans have never on social media posted anything about their senior men's national team winning anything since 1966. In short, since the advent of social media, from Yahoo Messenger to MSN to Hotmail to whatever it is, they have not posted or did not send a mail or a picture of them winning anything on social media. But well, the Catanocias, the people who give us Mafia, who gave us The Godfather, who gave us stories that we would never forget, who fed us with lasagna, risotto, and pizza. Yes, pizza is the strangest food you would ever have. A food that is round, eaten triangularly in a square box. Well, all of that was not served as Switzerland knocked them out of the Euros because they were not good enough. And people keep underrating Switzerland. Switzerland is loaded with players from Man City who won the league in England, Granit Xhaka, who's playing the best football of his life in the last 1 year since he left Arsenal. And people keep talking about them. But a brief talk about Switzerland so that you understand better. Last time out they were in the Euros, they lost to Spain on penalty in the quarterfinals. In 2010, the only team that beat Spain in the World Cup in South Africa was Switzerland. Switzerland have gone to tournament and have not lost a single game in open play in multiple occasions. The last Euros was one of them, and the 2010 World Cup was also one of them. So when you look at Switzerland and classifying them as underdog, you got to be able to look at yourself and say, do you really know football or not? But then England rode a bicycle out of hell, and it was the bicycle kick from the man Jude Bellingham. Is the man of the moment in the eyes of the English media, the English press, the English fans, and they are quick to throw it in your face. He was the player of the season in Spain, La Liga. So if you can be the player of the season in La Liga, then you are obviously you deserve all the hype and all the shenanigans, all the talk about you. But my question to you out there is, have Jude Bellingham really lived up to the hype? Has he really twist and turn? Is it dumb things that make you? I mean, yesterday night we saw Spain show to Georgia that we cannot beat you 7-1 in the qualifiers, and then you come here and you want to embarrass us. No, first half was 1-1, but the second half we saw the quality of Spain. Yes, they are not Ian Robben and Frank Ribéry. Yeah, I'm talking about Nico Williams and the 16-year-old Yamal. But those two are tyrannical. They are a problem. Nico Williams can't mark to save his life, can't track back to save his life, but on the ball, set him free. Yay! Imagine Musiala joining Spain. Oh my God. Wow. Well, it is football the way you would love it. We'll complain about the Euros not being exciting, but when Spain come to town, with Spain they say there is no pain, it's only gain. But no, with Spain there is pain for the opposition, even though there is gain for the La Foya Royals. And that's exactly what happened at the Euro over the weekend. I don't know what you saw or what happened. Yeah, but we're counting down to Saturday again to see that beautiful explosive match between England and Switzerland. If you look carefully, I've always said that England, there is a way that the fixtures are couched out to give England always an easy reign, an easy passage. People will be playing big nations. England will just be playing Slovakia, Switzerland, this one, that one, be, rigmarine their way. First of England always get the easiest group stage so that they can qualify. Well, we will see what happened on Saturday. But before Saturday, between now and Saturday, we'll enjoy the remaining games that we have to watch and then enjoy football as it is. On the show today, we'll talk about all the matches that was played. We would also, I'll be here to answer to your questions. We'll also look at the transfer gist, all of the stories that are going on in the beautiful world of football transfer. And how is it that a lot of people just keep silent on the Copa America, especially the English media? I'm not learning from them, but I'm just observing them sometimes. I like to think that they have a very unique way of doing things, and it's good. They just focus on the Euros, but not just on the Euro England national team. Give you passive information about the other teams, focus on their national team. I wish that we can get to the point where that is how we run our media. Well, over the weekend, saw a lot of backlash, quarrel, fighting between podcast people and MPFL reporters. Well, there were some statements that were out of place, but generally, I just think that we have to understand what podcast is like, and then maybe it will help us not to get angry the way we do get angry. Osimhen is in the news today. I don't know where the story of Arsenal and Osimhen comes up. I don't think that Arsenal wants to sign Osimhen, but in Italy, I know that Calafiori is a big conversation around Arsenal, Man United, and a lot of other players. Well, today we would have some deals that are already done, some that are about to be done, some that are in the making, and all of that. Whatever is happening in transfer, you would hear. But let's look at some of the headlines that we have in the beautiful world of football as it goes. Carl Frock, I've come out to leak a WhatsApp conversation with Anthony Joshua. So Anthony Joshua was asking, he obviously called him a prick, and was asking me, who the hell prick? And Carl Frock said, because ... I think you are. And Anthony Joshua replied, but it was blood. Okay, so it's boxing. I don't too much to it. I can confidently say that in my mind's eyes, this was an arrangement between Anthony Joshua and Carl Frock. Do this so that, I want to be popping. I'm leading up to a fight with Dubois. I want to be popping. I want to be everywhere. If you notice when Anthony Joshua and Dubois were having that, I don't know if it's a presser or a conversation, all of a sudden, Anthony Joshua was demanding respect. And I always ask that thing from boxers. I want to fight you. You're asking me to respect you. I don't understand. Why should I respect you? I'm not here to respect you. You're not my uncle. You're not my daddy. You're not my paymaster. We have a fight coming up. I shouldn't be disrespecting you. That's the way it works. Okay? If you get on the ring, beat me, no problem. At least the payment have already been agreed. Whether I beat you or I don't beat you, I will get my payment. But asking me to respect you when I want to fight you, it does smack of ignorance and stupidity anyway. Jude Bellingham makes worrying admission ahead of England's last 16 clash with Slovakia as he revealed what played a major factor in their draft draw with Slovenia. So they played Slovakia, they played Slovenia, they've scaled through. The draw 1-1, and it almost led to a defeat. But in football, we'll say, Man United fan will tell you that the greatest game that they've ever seen is the 1999 UEFA Champions League final. So why are England fans not also happy about this one? I don't know. Well, in an exclusive interview, revealed what Declan Rice said to Slovakia manager Francesco Calzona during explosive full-time exchange, including a string of slurs. Well, when you win a match, take it in good stride and move on. When you lose, also take it in good stride and move on. But sometimes we go beyond that and it becomes a problem. Well, Jude Bellingham got a rating of 7.5. Harry Kane got a 6. Well, he scored a goal, so I mean, it's the reason why they are here. Scored the winner. And Declan Rice got a 5.5. What would you have rated them? The English team is really not doing well, and if they get bashed, it's because they're really not doing well. The expectations are high. England have really not played a strong nation. Maybe the next game in the quarterfinals we'll see them play strong nation, or in the semi-finals if they get past Switzerland. I'm feeling like England can't get past Switzerland anyway, unless Switzerland shows up and have a bad day. But then let's talk about players that have departed some club. Newcastle confirmed the departure of Elliot Anderson and Yakuba Minter to Nottingham Forest and Brighton as the sell pair combined for a combined 68 million in desperate 11-hour deals to avoid PSR point deduction. So those deals have been done. My question is, why wait to the last minute anyway? Why is it that you guys have to wait to the last minute? And this PSR kind of deal that comes up, in my opinion, I might be wrong. This is not me saying I know it all, but it does create room for racketeering, for clubs to do business that are under the table. Because again, if I know that if I send this player to you and you move this player around like this, we would all be safe from this whole point deduction. Why not do it? What's the big deal? Find a legal way to do something. After all, what does humans do? Donald Trump, told the whole world that in the business world, what you do is you look for loopholes and you exploit it. And I think that there are loopholes in this system already that I am seeing in this whole June that I've ended. I've seen all the loopholes and I'm saying to myself, come on, these things can be exploited easily. Because I was trying to do like a deep dive into, understanding the rules and how to avoid it. And I'm like, if I'm sitting here in Nigeria, in Lagos, and I know all of this, why not? Because the thing is, okay, let me give you a good example. I have a friend in maybe another media, and we were very close, and I could call him and I say, hey guy, what are you guys planning there? Even though myself, the station probably and my station are enemies, but my guys are there. I was like, guy, what are you guys planning? What's going on? What's this? What's that? He could leak me some information, right? It's the same thing in football. I could call my friend in another club and say, listen guy, if I don't move this player right now, I would be deducted point. I might struggle. I don't want that to happen. You might need me tomorrow for something. Why don't we do a trade? Why don't I sell this player to you at a very agreeable price? We schedule the payment for this stretch, and then one thing little did that happens. Not everything can easily be, and sometimes it's not even a phone conversation. You can just go and meet, have a lunch, have a family meeting. You cannot wiretap everybody. It's the truth. You can't wiretap everybody. You can have a meeting, no official email, so that no hacker comes in again and cause problem. I'm just thinking out loud like Ed Sheeran. I might not be right. But I'm just thinking like Ed Sheeran. And, again, let's not forget that Ed Sheeran gives his verdict on England's Euro 2024 chances after dramatic victory over Slovakia as the singer pledges to serenade Jude Bellingham at the quarterfinals. So let's hope and see, as he was wearing his Nike England shirt, looking like a bull man. Okay? Ed Sheeran always cut across a figure. It kind of like he's a brother to Erling Haaland. I don't know. Do you see a lot of similarity between Ed Sheeran and Erling Haaland? Maybe I'm not seeing well. I don't know, but just think about it. London Norris and Max Verstappen engage in war of word after dramatic collision at Austria Grand Prix, as the Brit claims it could impact their friendship, while the Dutchman labels his 10-second penalty as ridiculous. Yes, I just started on my daughter. Ridiculous. Okay, let's push it once. Let's look at transfer stories. I like to give you transfer stories before I come to your plate, and we'll talk about other things that you want to talk about, questions that you want me to analyze, or stories that you want me to react to, and all that. So put them on the comment section. I'm coming. I'm going to deal with them. Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, and West Ham are all interested in 22-year-old Italy defender Riccardo Calafiori. Didn't play that game and they got knocked out. But we'll have to pay in excess of 40 million to prize him away from Bologna. Bologna are the team right now. They should be telling Thiago Motta, thank you very much for creating a team that is so good, plays so much beautiful football, that we are in the eye of the world and everybody wants our player. We don't want Joshua Zirkzee. They are looking for Calafiori and somebody else. It's good. A number of Barcelona's directors remain unconvinced about the merits of signing space Euro 2024 star winger Nico Williams 21 from Atletico Bilbao. Okay, Brighton have been left frustrated after Chelsea agreed a deal to sign midfielder Cayman Drewsbury Hall 25 from Leicester, even though the player had undergone a medical with the Seagulls and fee was agreed between the two clubs. Chelsea, the virus of Chelsea hits again. Chelsea is officially the bandit club, the kidnappers and whatever. I don't care what you say. Chelsea FC is a militant club. Only feasting, they are a parasite. Only feasting on other people's players. Once people have, scouted the player, they want to sign a player, Chelsea, the hijackers will come. They don't even scout anymore. Every other club is their scouting department. If it's not Arsenal, it's Brighton. If it's not Brighton, it's Liverpool. If it's not Liverpool, it's Man United. Everybody scouts for Chelsea. Well, that's what money is all about anyway. Money talk, bullshit, what works. Well, Leicester City are close to agreeing a deal to sign 18-year-old midfielder Michael Golden from Chelsea. Newcastle are trying to negotiate a deal to sign Nottingham Forest Greek goalkeeper Odysseus Valchodimos, who is 30 years of age, part of the 21-year-old Scotland midfielder Elliot Anderson move to City Ground. Okay, Manchester United are unlikely to pursue a deal for Barcelona defender Ronald Araujo despite long-standing interest in the 25-year-old Uruguayan international. Newcastle boss Eddie Howe has made it clear in talks with the club's board that they should not look to cash in on Sweden striker Alexander Isak 24 this summer amid interest from Chelsea, according to Fabrizio Romano via Team Talk. Okay, Tottenham Hotspur City Club are set to trigger an option to extend 31-year-old South Korean forward Son Heung-min's contract with the club until 2026. Okay, one day he will be gone. One day, that guy that runs like a raccoon, he will be gone. When he's gone, we will have a conversation. But for now, let me leave Gwendolyn Marcus and a City Club alone. Well, let's look at some other deals that are there in the transfer conversation. Premier League club are still, looking at a way to bring £300,000 a week man Wilfred Zaha back to England. Wilfred Zaha is set to become the subject of a three-way Premier League tug of war, with Galatasaray open to selling the winger for a cut price deal. The Turkish outfit landed the former Crystal Palace star last summer. The Ivory Coast international made 30 Super League appearances in a title clinching campaign, bagging 9 goals and 3 assists in the process, while also performing in the Champions League. But despite the impressive form, the club can no longer afford Zaha's £300,000 a week wages, and are happy to part ways with the attacker if it means getting him off their book. Figures at the club have told Zaha's former club and other English side that the players is officially on the shelf. He's on the market. You come, put your money down, we will take. We don't know money. We want to sell more. Cheaper tiku come buy. Yes, and according to reports, Palace are interested at a potential reunion with Zaha, while West Ham and Wolves are also interested in procuring his services. Well, I don't know where we'll go, but definitely as an Arsenal fan, I don't want Zaha near my club. Okay, I don't want him. I don't think it's all that. Okay, Zaha reminds me of Bernardo Silva, and every time I say this, people don't like it. But Bernardo Silva is that kind of player that is busy, but busy doing nothing. Yeah, it scores you one magical goal that you will remember all season. But when I try to compare Bernardo Silva with Robbie Pires or Freddie Ljungberg or Wittod, and I was like, man, this guy is not even in their league, not even in the league of Ramsford Pele. What's it called? What's his name now? Ramford Pele. What's his name again? Oh God, I've forgotten his name. Okay. Okay, let's leave it. He comes in and he doesn't really create that much. His assist is never in double figures. His goals are never in double figures. But it kind of like give you this feel. It's like Bukayo Saka. Everybody's talking about Bukayo Saka, a class player. What kind of player? Yeah? Kopama came out of nowhere and challenged Erling Haaland to the golden boot, right? Bukayo Saka, why isn't Bukayo in? Nothing. If you look at Arsenal's failure in the last 2 seasons, Bukayo Saka is a culprit. I'm not trying to like scapegoat him. That's not what I'm doing. But I'm just saying that it's not all that. Okay, we're seeing in the Euros right now. It's not all that. It's just there. Just I've seen a lot of white players in my lifetime, from Finidi George to Wing Jong to Frank Ribery to Pavel Nedved to come on, Bukayo Saka. Come on, I mean, let's reason. Come now, let us reason together. Says the Lord of hosts. Okay, come in, Bukayo Saka, world class player. Marco Vamas, we've seen Marco Vamas, we've seen Tijani Babangida, we've seen all these guys, man. Some people even have the audacity to say that Bukayo Saka is better than Mo Salah. Really? You guys crazy, man. Ryan Giggs, Mark Hughes, Andre Kanchelskis. I've seen all these guys play football. He football, Mitana. Yeah, I don't understand. But Bukayo Saka is like, the poster boy of football is a star player, star boy. Bukayo Saka. Oh God, how about Wakala get big brokers? Okay, let's listen. Let's leave it. Let's come back. Yeah. Cayman Drewsbury Hall will undergo his chest medical today. You won't kill yourself with medical. You won't kill yourself with medical. You do one medical here. You do another medical here. Today, according to Fabrizio Romano, the Blues have struck a £30 million deal with Leicester for the midfield maestro. Well, he's going to play with his former coach. Why not? Okay. Man United have finally gotten their man. Finally. I know they were waiting for July. Man United have finally agreed a compensation package with Newcastle United for the services of Dan Ashworth. So, victory asserted. I mean, is that not it? Luther not continue again. Because one way or the other, Newcastle said, you not like go to court, do labor court. This compensation you must pay. And that's exactly what they've gotten. The two clubs have been locked in talks for months after Ashford emerged as a key target for United part owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe, okay, who has overhauled the club's off-field team. The former Brighton and Football Association chief is now set to be confirmed as the club's new sporting director immediately following a breakthrough in talks, as first revealed by The Athletic. The agreement brings to an end months of speculation over Ashworth's future. And my friend in the UK sent me a message. I'm going to read it. Yeah. Felix, I'm sorry, but I have to read this thing. He said, Man United signing Ashworth is like having an inside man in the FA. Remember, he used to work with the FA. So he could use his connection to influence some things that would bring back the good old days of Man United under Sir Alex Ferguson. I'm not saying he will be fixing games for them, but I am just saying that these things are possible. You always say that the English League titles that Sir Alex Ferguson won, most of them are match fixing. You said 9. I am saying that as much as I disagree in time past, looking back and looking at all that I've seen, I'm forced to say, well, it's possible that true these things are really, really possible. Well, whatever it is, I don't know what is possible, what's not possible, but that's what my friend Felix sent me from the UK. Well, let's see what that happened. Bologna wants the bid, so they are encouraging other people put in the bid. Calafiori scored a goal in the Euros against Czech Republic, against Croatia, and everybody's crazy about him. Well, I don't know if that's good enough for him to be the kind of player that they're saying, but 40 million. Why you put it on the scale? Bologna will encourage Premier League bids for defender Riccardo Fiori after the European Championship. The Italy international centre back, which after the European Championship for Italy, the Italy international centre back who has been one of the standard talent at the tournament is attracting interest from Arsenal and Juventus, among others. However, after Juve poached boss Thiago Motta, Bologna are reluctant to do business with their domestic rivals and would favor selling to an English club. Arsenal have already made an inquiry for Calafiori, though their interest is likely to depend on the future of Jacob Kivior, also wanted by Juventus and AC Milan. Calafiori has played the majority of his football at centre-back this season, though he can also play at left back, where he previously featured for both Roma and FC Basel. So let's see what happened. Well, let's talk about a deal that is done. Remember this player who said, I don't want to go here, this is where I want to play. Brighton have confirmed the signing of Yakuba Minte from Newcastle. I'm happy because he's my Gambia brother, and he's got a place opportunity to play where he wants to play. The winger has signed a 5-year deal with the Seagulls after leaving St. James's Park. He joins Elliot Anderson in leaving Newcastle before the Premier League profit and sustainability rules deadline. Well, I mean, I smell a rat there, but let the rat be, let the rat be. You know, sometimes the smell of rat is just okay to discomfort you. You need to be uncomfortable sometimes. Chelsea have reached an agreement for Leicester City's Kenan Dewsbury Hall. According to the Athletic, the Blues are expected to pay 30 million for the 30 million pounds for the 25-year-old midfielder whose contract will run until 2030. The Leicester Academy graduate also reportedly declined an offer to join Brighton and Hove Albion. Dewsbury Hall started 41 of Leicester's 46 league games under Maresca last season, scoring 12 goals and providing 14 assists as the Foxes won promotion to the Premier League. Well, they say that the transfer window would officially fully open when the Euros end, okay? Counting down to 14th of July. But then, let's just enjoy the little ones that we have. Manchester United have open talks over a deal for Mathis De Ligt, okay? That's according to the Mail, following reports last week that the Red Devils were considering a fresh attempt to snare the Bayern Munich defender. De Ligt, 24, worked with Erik ten Hag previously at Ajax and has fallen down the pecking order in Munich. And I'm sure Vincent Kompany have told him, okay, you ain't going to work for me. You're not in my plans. So if you have opportunity to move, go and use it very, very well. Well, that's how we come back to you guys, and let's talk about what you want us to talk. First half of the show is for me, and the second half, which is the most important part, is for you guys. What are you interested in talking today? If you're watching right now, please click on the like button. If you've not subscribed, do well to subscribe to the channel. And after this show, immediately after this show, I'm going to have an interview with Sunday Lise. Some of you have said, oh, why don't you do the interview live? Let me explain. You guys are the community, you guys are the people that own this channel. I want to say massive thank you to everybody. Like okay, I still have to tell her thank you. My beloved sister Yemi Babalola, yeah, thank you very much. If not for you, and thank you to my brother as well, the prof. His family is part of the business, but you still have to say thank you. Yeah, Arotorigo, Chike Ayalogu, all of you guys, Chike Ayalogu, and everyone who's made it possible for us to fuel our journey, to power our internet. God bless you. Thank you. If not for you, maybe the show will not run today, and probably the interview was supposed to do this interview over the weekend, but we moved it forward. Now, for those of you who say, oh, why don't you do the interview live like you used to do back in the day? Like the thing with some interviews, and I will do some live, but the thing with some interviews is that you want to avoid, because word once spoken cannot be retracted, right? You want to avoid a place where certain things are said in the spur of the moment. Let me give you a very good example. People have asked me, where's the full interview of Dukudi? So when I went to do that Dukudi interview, it was just a general recap. I actually wanted to set a record straight. I wanted to get the fact, because I've always had the impression that Sunday Lise messed him up. And Sunday Lise was the reason why he didn't go to the Olympics. Because that was the story. Growing up in Warri, that was the story we were told. That Sunday Lise asked him to carry his boot from training, and he refused. And then I also, that story that Dukudi went to abroad, he went to slap his club president's wife. I play football in Europe, and I'm saying to myself, what are the chances that a footballer would meet with the wife of the club president? Not the coach, the club president. What are the chances? In what football universe would that happen? But when you see, the thing about lies is that if they tell a lie repeatedly, you start believing it. The lie that Mary Slessor stopped the killing of twins. The lie that Colombia discovered America. The lie that Mongo Park discovered in Niger. Right? If they tell a lie repeatedly, generations unborn will not accept it that that's the truth. Right? That's why I always question religion. That at what point, okay, is it a lie? Right? Because if you look at the metamorphosis of religion, this is not a religious show, but I'm always trying to explain that to people. is that if you go back to the 70s, what they told us about this Christianity is not what they told us about it in the 80s or in the 90s. And now, let me give you a very vintage one. In the 70s, 80s, and 90s, we were told that salvation is what will take you to heaven. Today, the same men who preach that same sermon are not saying that if you don't pay tithe, you will not go to heaven. So you see the difference. So tithe is your transport fare or your ticket. Now it's not like a comedy show. Like you have to have gate ticket to go to heaven. I thought Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, right? So it's the same thing with so many lights. So I grew up as a worry boy. I love the Cody. I played on the white side. Remember when you play as a white player or when you play football, whatever wing you choose to play is inspired by a lot of people you watch, how they play. You want to be like them and also bring yourself to it. So I watched people like Dukudi and I wanted to be like them. So when he didn't make it to the Olympic team, knowing that they played every qualifier home and away, was the only guy who played every qualifier, I was worried. My own boy, my classmate, who was in the room and made the team, it was good for me. But then I look at some players who made that team. Tess Fatusi, Patrick Pascal. I don't care what anybody says, and Patrick Pascal is my guy. He works with the national team, he's been there forever. That guy cannot lace the boot of Dukudi. So if he can make that team and Dukudi didn't make it, and then that's a story, they just brought a scapegoat that Sunday Lisa was a guy. I picked on it but I love Sunday Lisa. Sunday Lisa is my all-time favorite Super Eagles player. But even in the middle of that, I was worried, man, this guy could be this mean. And then again, there were so many people who had some negative things to say about Sunday Lisa. So if you remember in my podcast, I raised the conversation. So I said, you know what, I've heard this side, I've heard this Sunday Lisa side. Let me go to Ibadan. Let me go and sit with Dukudi and have a conversation around it. I really want to know the truth because all these things, you never can tell. When I did that interview, that's a beautiful, long interview, very, very beautiful 2 hours plus interview. When we finished, and as you grow on this job, you would mature and you learn some things. In my brilliant days, I'll run that interview straight up, man, exclusive, man. Because who brings exclusive is a Superman, is a superhero. So when you have an exclusive, you don't think, run it. Now I have my own. It will help me. It will give me. Look at the small pieces of the interview of Dukudi that I put out there. Over 200,000 views on TikTok. Big the conversation around it is good. But then Dukudi now called me. There's a part of the interview where we talked about 3SC, the landed property that I was giving to them, that I was taking from them. And he called me and said, no, you shouldn't put that out again. On the second thought, I think if you put it out, I live in Ibadan, I might be victimized, blah, 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 blah. Now that's like the juice of the interview. I can't put it out. I'm just sitting here on it and I say, okay, cut this part, put it out, cut this part, put it out, and leave the rest. Right? So it was the same thing. When I heard Mikel Obi say the things he said, and you go, I'm a comment section person. I've always been a comment section, so I will read 10 million comments. I will read it. Don't worry yourself. I have time. And I saw the comments. Some people said that Sunday Lisa coach the Super Eagles, they win a single game, nothing he achieved, nothing. I was like, well, really? Maybe when they watch different football. But so I told him, I called him, I said, Sunday, conversation. He's like, no. The funny thing about this life is every time I see some comment, I see, this is what this generation will believe about you. That you don't have a clue, you don't have an understanding of what coaching is about, blah, blah, blah. People will not even remember that you won the coach of the year in the Netherlands, voted for by coaches, first black man to achieve it. Nobody would remember all that. Mikel Obi says you don't have a clue, you don't know what you're doing. And I know the brief that brought you in. I know where the Eyama and Mikel issue started. It started before you came in. But not everybody knows it. So let's have this conversation. So the reason why I'm explaining this to you people, so that you don't look at me like, oh, that was doing PR. I'm not doing PR. I'm doing journalism. But at the same time, if you look carefully, all the Carson Tucker interviews, they are pre-recorded. You have to record first. You look at the debate, the presidential debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. You could see that it's so childish. If they are pre-recorded, that would have been fine. But hey, because it's election, is politics, is fine. So I said to myself, no, I can't put people under the spot that way, so that they don't react badly and it goes out there and everybody take it. So we record, we would look at it cleanly, edit, and then I share with him. I say, go look at this video, look at this interview. Do you approve that I make it public? Because once it goes out, I can't take it out again. Oh. So that's the reason why we are not doing a live interview, because a lot of you guys have said, do a live interview so that we can ask him questions. Yes, I want to do that, but unfortunately, that's not going to be able to happen. I am very, 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 very sorry. Okay, so don't be angry with me, don't be vexed. It's just the circumstances that are within what I want to do. And I think that journalism or media have grown past that, to be very honest. Media have grown past that. We're now in a place where I don't think that I set up my media to do anybody dirty. Unless you just want to dirty yourself, then we'll leave you there. If you accept that you want to be dirty, we'll leave you there. But I didn't set up my media to dirty people. So for those of you, I think I owe you that explanation. That's the reason why. All right, let me come to you people and read. Please click on the like button. We cannot have 37 people viewing and only 14 people liking it. If you've not subscribed to the channel, if you subscribe, the world will not end, the chopper will not blow, and you will not go to hell. Just click on the subscribe button, click on notification, so that you are part of this lovely family. We do this every day, Monday to Friday, and then we also produce a whole lot of other content. And when we put out the Sunday Lisa interview, please do well to engage it, put your comment, and be open-minded. Like I always tell people, be open-minded. Don't hate Ulisse because of Mikel Obi. Don't hate Mikel Obi because of Ulisse. I always say that. Don't hearing people's beef or people's enemies. Just keep it going, okay? The way we made a mistake of making the devil our enemy because of God. Don't continue that, okay? Anyway, Saka say good morning, boss. Good morning to you. It was close, and then he said, "I fear that Switzerland team shall." Akimola Larry says a great escape for England. Really or seriously, it was Houdini stuff. Tosin Liomade says, first to like today. Let's see how far luck can take England in this tournament. Really feel for Georgia. Why you feel for Georgia? Like Spain? You don't like Spain? Is it Georgia you feel for or Slovakia? I don't feel for Georgia. Georgia that came to this tournament to punish commentators with their name. Guy, calm down. I don't feel for Georgia one bit. I won't lie to you. Okay, Spain is a good team. At least I enjoy it when I watch a game late into the night. I should be able to enjoy the game. The quality of the football that they play, they deserve to go through. Olatunji Emmanuel say finally that Ashworth deal to United is almost done. I'm eager to see if anything will change with recruitment this summer and how they perform next season. I mean, he's just coming. You don't expect him to just work magic. Maybe next season fine, but this summer I don't think he will do much. He will settle in, look from behind the scene. Yeah, obviously he will consult. He would offer his opinion, but you have to look at the recruitment at Newcastle. What really major recruitment did they do at Newcastle with him there? So you got to give him time. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, all of a sudden is the magical one that will change everything at the club. Yes, forgotten. I'm going to finish up. He's going to come as a person of value. I think as much as Ineos does not have a track record of humongous successes in their previous places, I also think that a lot of failures would always make you want to succeed. So in those places where they fail, they will look at Man United and say, this is our Hail Mary, this is our last throw of the dice. We need to make something out of it. And if you look at all the teams that they've taken before now, they've not really structured from within out, okay? They've already come in and then just, try to do what they want to do. But this one, they are restructuring from within out, purging at people who they think are not good. If you look at Arsenal, similar thing happened. When Ivan Gazidis came in, he purged the team from within out to the point where Wenger was fired. I know that people don't like to hear that word, but Wenger, of a truth, he was fired. And then there are some people who are so obsessed with Wenger. If you say anything, I made a tweet about Wenger yesterday, and people were just engaging it with insult. The truth is, you agree. Like, Wenger failed at Arsenal. His last 12 years was failure. And his kids say he used much to qualify for Champions League. Now, lie. As Wenger had a chance to win at least 4 Premier League titles, 4, Arsenal didn't win them because we were using kids. Arsenal lost those titles because tactically Arsene Wenger was inept. And these same people who are backing him were the ones who were saying Wenger must go, Wenger out and all that. So to wake up now and just give him legacy legend, he's a club legend, I agree, but it doesn't mean that we will not see the bad things that happened under him. And once you say it, you are personal non grata. Well, I really don't care about other people's opinion. I will talk my mind. And Wenger knows how to coach. It's simple. That's my own. You might like it, you might not like it, but that's my own. With the golden generation, you couldn't win any European title, even if not Europa or UEFA Cup or something. Come on, with that golden generation, any other coach would have done way better. And this month to throw in your face. He went to season unbeaten. Granit Xhaka just went to season unbeaten with the most unlikely club. Okay, Wenger won 3 Premier League titles. Agreed. Never won anyone back to back. He won it every time Man United were refreshing. I mean, Gary Neville said exactly that word on one of the overlap. That was the title that Arsenal won when Man United were rebooting. Even Patrick Vieira said it in the overlap. So it's not me. These are people who play for the team. They agreed. Well, it's true. You know, they alluded to it. But when I talk about it, if you don't know what they do, it's just a disgusting behavior of certain people. One of the things I've come to notice, especially with black people, is for as long as now you both talk up, it can never be wrong. He built a stadium for the club. That's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. How does a coach, somebody who's hired to manage the football on the field, build a stadium? They said they took a loan and it was a guarantee. You didn't listen to yourself. They usually want to maintain the guarantee. As a Vega is richer than the club. As a Vega is a bigger asset than the club. Wow. But let's move on. Okay, Habib Ayodeji say hello from Indiana, USA. Your lighting and background is awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you. We're growing, we're improving. If I start to send us the dollars now, we'll do better. I mean, I want to change this background. I want to put some very fancy background. But man, when they come, so somebody, let me give you a very good example. Somebody gave me a jersey. Imade came back, and on the day I was going to Dubai. Sorry, no. What are you talking? On the day I was going to, he came from Dubai, and he asked me where are you. I said I'm at the airport, but unfortunately I'm not flying today. My flight was moved to the next day, so I can't go to Ajah. I decided to stay in Ajaro. You know, said that boy come for that night, and he gave me a jersey. So I told him, I don't know where the jersey, but because I mean, it's like, oh, bros, it's a contribution for what you do for me when I was playing in the league, blah 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 blah. I said, okay, you know what? I'll take it. And he gave me very lovely sneakers, very lovely Adidas canvas, very fine, colorful one. And I loved it. Okay. And I said, okay, you know what? I would frame it and put it on my wall. Between you and me, I thought the framing would cost maybe 20,000, 30,000. I asked them to frame it, send Jamie Adelashe, who normally does all our photography and our framing work and all that. And they said it's 250K. 250K to frame JC for wall. I'm not fit to. And then let me say this so that somebody doesn't send me a message and say, I will send you the money. Don't send me the money for the framing of the jersey. If you send me, I'm not going to frame them. I can't. No. Let's be very, very honest. There are certain things that are now watching. What kind of aesthetics is that? 250,000 naira to frame jersey. Jersey where it already did. Not say you go buy the jersey. Jersey where it already did. This frame. To get a frame that's bigger than this. Put the jersey. Lose them for the back. Put the jersey. How much do they sell all those painting for street? 12,000, 15,000. I go frame jersey 250,000. I said no, I don't fit to. Coming stingy, coming tight-fisted. I agree, I'm not the Jabu man, but it does not make sense to me. What's the value? So the jersey is still there for Jamie, and if you come, you'll give me back. I'll keep it. I don't say I rather give my son make it wear. I know fit. You understand? So sometimes you look at the cost of all of this and like, come on, it's not worth it now. Come on, how much? So Habib Ayodeji, thank you very much, all the way from Indiana. I thought you were sleeping by now. Akim Olalare saying, boss, I watched Mike Tyson versus Danny Williams fight in 2004. It was one of the most engaging heavyweight fights I've seen. Is it safe to say recently the heavyweight boxers are kind of lazy and boring? Not necessarily lazy. But I think sports have evolved to the point, most of the sports now are like wrestling. What it was yesterday is not what it is today. And as we grow, we kind of like have that expectation. How do I explain that? Remember when Floyd Mayweather was, doing the shoulder roll and blocking, defensive boxing? People said it was poor boxing. But he came out and make one statement. He said, I would rather fight for an hour and take a shower and go to the club than get beat just because I want to make money. And I cannot understand this because, again, boxing is not a sport. Do anything you can to win. Look at the Bronze Bomber. Was beating everybody. They bust the eardrum. He has gone from an American to a Benin boy. It's not a Benin boy. Like Oswald, Dr. Oswald. So sometimes you look at these things and you say to yourself, we're never going to have those kind of boxing where you have Lennox Louis, Evander Holyfield, Marvin Hagler, Mike Tyson type of boxers anymore. Because, again, society is not as brutal as it used to be. Let's be very honest. Society is not as brutal as it used to be. Look, the greatest example is, look at yourself, where you're coming from, and look at your children, the children you're raising, or the environment you are in. Remember, most of us who are living in gated estates today are still poor. We're poorer than even our parents. If you compare, our parents had 12 children, they could take care of them. We have only 2 or 3. We're struggling, right? But the life has changed. So the way people fight today, go back to growing up in Warri, wording. There's something called wording, or what America calls your mama. You understand? It was a normal thing. If you do wording today, it's body shaming, it's a taboo, is mental health issues. So the way boxers are trained now, boxers are not trained to be, invest your anger or your entire life anger into the fight. No, they are trained to be evasive, proper maneuvers, and then hit, jab. And so the fights are a lot more tactical and technical than just go there and slug and punch. So that's why you can't see this is my own understanding, I might be wrong, but that's why we can't see those Mike Tyson-esque kind of fighting, those Evander Holyfield, those Marvin Hagler, those Muhammad Ali, taking all those plenty punches to the head and then having Parkinson's disease. We're not going to see the kind of boxing anymore. Boxing is very clean. Now you can finish fighting and everybody's looking good. That's probably what brought about the MMA and the rest of them and all those slapping, for people who like blood. These days there's so many anti-this, anti-that, that boxing is I don't think boxing is ever going to be like that anymore. Lazy? No. Just probably playing by the rules, the rules of the fight. Back in the day, you can punch somebody and talk bad. I remember if you somebody Akpochi punched somebody and he said good night, and it was dog points, and it was also fine, right? I remember that, and it was a big problem. They said he should have said that. But that's what Muhammad Ali did when he was standing over a boxer who was on the ground, and that's his greatest picture. That's his greatest NFT, if you allow me to use that word. So times have changed where you don't box like Mike Tyson anymore. You don't take all the anger of what happened on the streets in Brooklyn and then you invest it on people. That's also why young kids in America are really not getting into boxing anymore, because the ones who are supposed to do boxing are not doing drugs and are doing some other things. And then they really, if they need to box, they can't box that way that their heroes box. So it's gone south. I understand what you're saying, but unfortunately, I'm not sure we would ever see those kind of slugging and fighting anymore. Demola Ibrahim, I'll be able to say good morning, boss. I want to say thank you to the Elegbete family for the love shown on Friday. Unless the England and Switzerland enter penalties, I don't see this England team winning them within 90 minutes. Lord, may I say that Swiss is difficult to play. I no see England winning that match. That might just be the match that'll be easy for them. When you start writing a team off, that's when they show their stuff. Demola Abiodun Ibrahim says, do you think it's because of what Anright said that makes Southgate play Saka at left back, or is just a coincidence because of Trippier injury? I wouldn't say I know why, but I said this thing before the Euros that the England team selection is not balanced. All it would take is for one injury and there'll be displacement of players. And that's exactly what happened. So Southgate, I don't know whether it's because if you look at it, if you want to say what Anright said, you also have to understand that there's injury in the squad, and in football, if there is injury, there is now all hands on deck. Everybody must come in and help patch it, cover up. So probably that's what happened. But why he didn't pick you? It's not even 23 players that you asked to pick. You asked to pick 26 players, and in 26 you couldn't find 2 players in every position. Oh, come on! I don't know what's up with Gary Southgate, but it's funny. I mean, you say, boss, do you have a tactical board for Tactical Tuesday to break down tactics? If no, can the community contribute to get you one? So there is a particular tactical board that I want to have. It's magnetic. I've tried to get it through Kushayiri in Dubai. I didn't get it. I've asked Kenneth Umeru. That one, Kenneth Umeru, now that you reminded me, I'll have to go back to him again. I've asked Kenneth Umeru to buy it for me, and then I now told him, I said, buy it for me, I'll send you the money. He started laughing. I don't understand some of these Super Eagles players that are my friends. You know, when I tell them, okay, like Ojo the other day, I tell Ojo, okay, help me check if you can get it for me in Saudi Arabia. Because it's not in Nigeria, and I really need it. I just need it, just put it somewhere here, you know, make some explanations. But the people that I have, don't seem to think that I need it, like, oh, I need it urgently, or maybe because I tell them that I'll pay them back. But it's not wrong for me to say I'll pay them back, especially footballers. I know they like me, footballers do me favor. So that's the reason why I don't have it. I really need a tactical board. I could even stand it here, set it up in a way, and then I could make some explanation. But unfortunately, I don't have. The community that we have is not that rich. I've noticed that this community is not that rich. You see, this is the one channel that doesn't get a lot of thanks or a lot of what's that thing called again? What's that in financial support? To not task them to say go and buy. Man, I already have people who help me buy fuel, help me pay for data. To not task them to buy me tactical, but I think that's like overreaching. That's asking for too much. So I try not to do, but I would eventually, because we're planning a Euro tour. When we go to Europe, I would eventually buy it and I'll bring it to Nigeria. So that's what, there's a very particular type that I want, the one that we have all those magnetic stuff on it. And I've tried with every sports shop, from Zenith Sports Shop to Adasibob, all of these ones. I can't find it, and I've asked them if they can get it in. Not even when I went to Ghana, where I did my mic block. If you notice, the mic block that we had previously was shitty. One design guy did it and it wasn't good. But then we went to Ghana and I saw this guy who had it, Ghana TV, Joy TV, and I asked them, they gave me address, and it was expensive anyway, but I mean, I like the fact that I was able to do that, and it's good. Okay, so we would eventually get it. I'm looking forward to it. I'll get it. I don't know, but we'll get it. Don't worry. Abiba, they say, what's your take on footballers taking a public stance on politics? Case in point, Mbappe and Marcus Thuram publicly telling the people not to vote for far-right French candidate Marine Le Pen. I like when you take a public stance, but I hate it when you're telling people who to vote for, because you're playing God. It's okay to play devil's advocate, but I don't think it is right to play God. Like, I've never told anybody who to vote for. When you hold public trust, try and understand that election is a good faith thing, is a how I see the candidate. Okay, and I hope to God that the candidate will get there, and then they will be able to do a lot. A president is not as powerful as people think they are. Okay, if a president does not have the right Congress, does not have the right people around them, they will still do rotten things. I have heard many times, I've been opportuned to be close to people in power. And one of the things that I've noticed is that most of them are very good people on their own, but surrounded with people who have agendas that doesn't suit. It's just like America, for instance. It's just that America as a country is already established in terms of structure and the rest of them. But if you go back, J. Rockefeller set up America educational system and the world educational system to suit his agenda. Bill Gates is growing GMO seeds to kill people so that one day they can come and take over Africa. That's just the truth. And you know, everybody have their own agenda. And once you mix money, influence with it, becomes... Who told you that the far right cannot produce somebody who is good? Who told you the far left cannot produce somebody? So I think that you can advise people as a public person, as a footballer, to say, you know, vote for this person, vote for, because when you're saying these things, That person is watching you. Their fans are watching you. What if they win? And then they now decide to play vendetta. They now decide to play back. What would happen? It's very, like my mom used to say this thing that it costs 14 naira to kill somebody. It costs 10 naira to make somebody crazy. You know, that's what, like the jazz, the juju, to make somebody crazy, 10 naira. But to make somebody life good takes a entire lifetime. So to do bad doesn't cost much. What will it cost to damage this whole thing? Pick one hammer and hit all these things. Once, how much is the hammer? The hammer, like maybe 20,000, 10,000, 5,000, and everything is damaged. Even if you just use your hand, push all this thing, it will fall. But how much has it cost to set it up? Almost 100 million is gone, right? So using your position to create, because once you say that, what you've done is you set up the one end against the other because you say it. I would rather say that let us vote for what is good for a country. Let us vote for the conscience of the country. Let's pick a candidate. Remember when during the election, I was obedient 100% and I showed it. But I didn't say anybody will vote for this person, vote for that person. When the election was over, when the election process was over, I still went for a meeting with Tinubu. I went and I made a presentation to say, please, so there is this thing that we'll be pursuing for the past 12 years. I'm not counting on the fact that it will be done. And guess what? When I was even talking, I thought the man was sleeping. Honest to God. That look, they should separate the Ministry of Youth from the Ministry of Sports. I've also done that presentation to Goodluck Jonathan 4 times. I did that presentation to Buhari people 3 times. Right? But at the end of the day, it's the guy who looked like he was sleeping, who was blowing all through the campaign, that have separated the Ministry of Youth and the Ministry of Sports. You understand? If I was far-right extremist, I know this man is not. At the end of the day, in my industry, he's the one that have done something reasonable for my industry. So sometimes I think that it's overreaching. Like, you are overplaying your hand. You should find. Well, Mbappe is a kid. Let's be very honest. Like I always say to people, the only reason people talk about Mbappe is because he have money. How many of Mbappe's age mate does anybody reckon with in this world? Because he get money now. If you not get money, nobody will talk about Mbappe. So he's a kid. At that age, he should make all the mistake he's making. I mean, I probably would have done worse at this age. I'm wiser now. Did I not just tell you at the start of this show that back in the day, I don't do interview like this. Straight up, we put them on air. And then, you know, the thing was, as I was driving home and I was listening to the interview, I was feeling bad. You know, there's a conscience in you, no matter how evil you think you can be. There's a conscience. I start feeling bad, like, before I did this thing, before I did this, and it caused a lot of problem in Nigerian sports. But at the end of the day, stop me. Now I talk him, right? Now I using my talk him. But I wouldn't put that out today. Nah, it's not important. Forget, I know we get viral view and I agree. I not be honest bunch, but I will not put it out. Unless the person, I reach out to the person and say, you want this thing to go out? Listen to minutes, this to this. This thing where you thought, you want to go out? We say, yes, I want it out. Okay. You know, these days, if my team will say, why you do that? When I want to interview players, I remember Semi Ajayi, I'd like to say, when I want to interview, I say, introduce yourself and say, my name is Semi Logo Ajayi. I approved for Elevated TV and radio to use this interview. The reason they say the world don't they change. The world is changing. We have to change with it. You can't be extremist anymore. You know they work. You know they work. You know, people used to like hard tackle. If someone like me do hard tackle now, and I go hit him. I bring another person here, we're going to do a tackle. Una go verse. But people used to like it, right? It's no longer something that is relevant. So I think that for me, it's my opinion, sharp. I don't know, like I say, England can win Switzerland. It's 90 minutes. Okay. I don't know, like I say, Chai Zaha. And here we go. Kingsley says, boss, this your emergency make brain. Keep doing the great job. Thank you very much. Now about 45k. This thing where you see, so this up and down. At 45k, if you want, I don't feel that show. It costs a lot to get it. If you want, I can tell you where to buy, who to buy from. But me, I don't feel that should this way. Now that I mean, heal me. I just tell you that because sometimes you know, say that the hate person say he will come move, say I dash you, no, boss. Yeah. Remember if I want to work out. Oh, where have you been? Whoa, I think I'm the only one that thinks Bernardo Silva is kind of overrated. You don't even need to mention Perez and all these players. Can he even lace the boot of the real Silva, David Silva? And then let's like I say, my family member is a star boy. Oh, well done. Gaskin Ramose Edafi, they talk through at least twice a day. Saka is world class. Which club you play for Europe, Seth? Well, since you decided to make it personal, I didn't play for any big club. Let's talk about Saka. World class. When you say Bukayo Saka is world class, like I said, it's because the standard of football have come down. So let's talk about wingers. Let's start from Wing Junk, Finidi George, Tijani Babangida, what's it called? Marco Vamas, Rumford Palo, Ray Palo, yeah, that's the guy I was talking about. Rumford Pele. Ray Palo, that's the guy I was trying to remember. Robbie Perez, and then let's bring in Andrea Kachaskis, Mark Hughes, Ryan Giggs, David Beckham, Brian Robson, and they call out this name. When we get to the point where Bukayo Saka better pass anyone, let me know. I go admit, it's not a hard thing. Like I always say, superior argument, not be insult. Irabo, as your parents no teach you well, as you don't get sense. Say like people you want insult to bring argument. Bring a superior argument. Bukayo Saka sabi play ball. Yes, but what class? All these names what they call, so some of the people I even call, I know if you call them world class. I know if you say Ripalo is a world class footballer, but it was up there. And then you now stretch it down to Ian Robben, Frank Ribéry. Who are the other wingers again as we go through the rank? How many of them you feel beat your chest, Irabo, say Bukayo Saka better than? How many of them? If you no go fit, there's a player that played for Barcelona, played for Chelsea. His name is Pedro. He was never listed as a world-class player. There's one thing that I've noticed with players that play for Arsenal. Once you play for Arsenal, you're world-class. Remember when Kleb was regarded as world-class, and I was like, yeah, I like him. He's a great player. It's good. I like his style of play. But this guy will not play well any other place. The reason why he's playing well, and I remember that was brilliant. I used to have this crazy argument with Tony Becker. I said the reason why this boy is saying like this, he's playing for a coach that does not demand more. Only as a Wenger you can have 10 bad games and you're still playing. There's no other coach, and I'm not saying it on my own. Many players have come out to say it. Players that have played for all the players that have played for Wenger and also played for Pep or play for Wenger and play for Jose Mourinho, I've confirmed that. With Mourinho, one bad game, you are off. You're not going to play again because this business is for winning. It's Wenger when you have a bad game today, tomorrow you have another bad game, let's go. So people see you all the time. You know how it's like music. When the music is first released, you don't like it. It grows on you and you begin to like it most times. It's the same thing with people. You see somebody for the very first time, I don't like this person. See the person 10 times, you fall in love with the person. That's why people go into Big Brother's house and they fall in love and they get very, very emotionally attached. Because the people you hate, if you stay long with them, you like them. It is subliminal marketing. So once it's all over your face all the time, you like them. But look at Bukayo Saka. I was asking a guy, we've had like how many transfer windows? How many people have said, we're looking for a world-class player, let's have him? Leroy Sané, I will not place Bukayo Saka over prime Bukayo Saka versus prime Leroy Sané. I won't put it. Now, the context of my conversation was how people rate Bukayo Saka versus how he really is. Did I say he's a bad player? No. But I would say here he's not a world-class player. Now, having said that, let's talk about how I played. I played for Sharks of Port Harcourt. I played for Eagle Cement. I played for the team that took Elfsberg in their lifetime from the second division to the top division, and I was the top scorer for the team. I was the player of the season as well. Now, it doesn't matter. You know why? It's not the Premier League. It's not a big deal. But you're not going to use me as a basis to judge Bukayo Saka. To be very honest, I play ball past Bukayo. Like me and Bukayo Saka na day and night. We will not be made for football. I'm not saying it because I want to show off. I sabi play ball past Bukayo Saka. Not be joke. The ball where Bukayo Saka they play so. The teams why I play for, not go make the bench. The truth is, standard of football have come down. The other day, I was listening as the Euros and Bernardo Silva scored a goal, and the commentator says, "What class player is this and that?" And I sat down. I was with a friend. We were watching in my living room, and I said, "Is Bernardo Silva really a world-class player?" And he looked at me. You say so now. He's won the Champions League. I said, "Calm down. People are too quick to bring with people don't win. Julian Alvarez have won everything. Is he a world-class player?" He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Yes, Pedro have more titles than Cristiano Ronaldo. Is he a world-class player?" He said, he started stuttering. I said, "That's the point. So don't tell me he's won everything. Is he a world-class? He's played many years in the Premier League. He's not been in double figure for assists or goals. Where's the world-class coming from? This world-class one they give people. You know the people where they that class. First of all, look at the people where they that class. Oh, now there's Zidane, then Figo, then Ronaldo da Lima. All those people are in that class. That class where they talk so. All of us enter plane. Let me say you enter first class. Oh. You understand? So if you understand the context of somebody's conversation, then you can have a rebuttal. But don't jump out of nowhere uncooked and unreasonable because you want to have an opinion. I think it's foolishness in my own side. Bukayo Saka has play ball for a O level. But if you're taking the best players of his position, nobody will mention Bukayo Saka. The best 100 right wingers in football in the last 30 years, Bukayo Saka name no day. The best 200 in name no day. And then they joke about him. I'm a student of the game. Apart from playing the game, I'm a student of the game. Bukayo Saka in name in no day. Then nobody go mention him. Look how white player you call Bukayo Saka. So let's never talk about the Arsenal. Since now everybody say if Saka is world class, what is Alexis Sanchez? Spiritual class. Will you sit Sanchez in his prime on the bench and play Saka? No, I want class now. As I play ball. Demola Abiodun Ibrahim says Vieira said he would have loved them to win it back to back then. Yeah, in that interview, you saw it in the overlap now. Gaskin Abba said the team or player you play with determines a lot. Could Sanchez play better in the Premier League or in this Arsenal? I know Sanchez even before he came to Udine. Please remove sentiment and emotion. Okay, so where are we going to judge Sanchez? Now you see the same thing where you tell the judge other people. Now you don't fall victim of. What you now want us to do is to judge the Sanchez you knew before he came to Udinese. The thing is, some other people knew Bukayo Saka when he was playing in the academy. Should we judge him by that? There was a prime Alexis Sanchez that played for Chile, won the Copa America. There is also a prime Alexis Sanchez that played for Arsenal. There is also a very horrible Alexis Sanchez that went to Manchester United that shouldn't even have gone in the first place. Now, we are judging that Alexis Sanchez that played for Arsenal. The same, and let's remember that Arsenal team was a not so good team. It was neither here nor there. Okay, they are good today, bad tomorrow. Bukayo Saka is playing for an Arsenal team that is challenging the entire Premier League and have stayed on top of the Premier League longer than any other person. I am saying to you here that even this Bukayo Saka will not be picked as the best player of the league. Or the best right player of the league, right-sided player of the league. Bukayo Saka played for the national team for as long as I can remember. But there are still flaws, a lot of defects in this game. As in, a lot of defects. The kind of support, as in pressing support that Bukayo Saka get from Ben White, Martin Odegaard. Even if you look at the Arsenal team, you will notice that Martin Odegaard does not focus on the players on the left side. Right? His focus is on Bukayo Saka making, you could tell that they are working so hard to make Bukayo Saka the poster boy of English football and Arsenal, which is not bad. It's okay. They did it for Cristiano Ronaldo at Real Madrid. They do it everywhere in the world. So that's not his fault. It's not a problem. But I'm saying that in decision making, the precision of his passing, his runs, sometimes you could see the flaws. Now, let me say this up front, and I've seen it with a lot of people who talk football. There is a place in football where if you not play them, there are certain things you cannot understand. People say I am too hard on white players, but I'm also very quick to praise Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams, Musiala, Leroy Sané. People judge his attitude. I'll say no. Talk about his football, right? And in the history of me talking football for 20 years, I have never gotten it wrong with a player. Name any player that I told you this player is average, and tell me when they went on to prove me wrong. Michu, Bonny, what's that guy that they bought for us now? Nicolas Sanogo Pepe. I can name 100 players that I've told you this player. When Madrid signed James Rodriguez, I was a commentator at the World Cup, and I said that this boy is just going to show in this tournament. It's not going to do anything. People said I don't know what I was saying. I came back from the World Cup. So you went to the World Cup. In Tony's word, you went to the World Cup, but you didn't watch the World Cup. I said, okay, let's give it time. Real Madrid to Everton till today. James Rodriguez, did he play any football? Because I watched him play at Monaco, and his runs, his positioning were not good. In that Colombia team, it just happened for him. I was like, well, these things can happen where some moment it just happened, but you're not a Asprilla, you're not a very Recoba, you're not, there's something not in his game. And sometimes a player can be missing something, but then the spur of the moment, the hype comes in. Remember when Osimhen went to Napoli and everybody was hiring, and I said there's something missing in his game. Calmness. He runs too much. Too much running will make him not to score goals. And I remember somebody like Irabo came on the comment section. What do you know? If you know that much, why are you not playing in his team? And I said, listen, he runs too much. He drops down too deep. But the excitement that he's a Nigerian player, he scores 1 or 2 goals. The following season, what happened? He stopped running. Osimhen came out in an interview and he said the coach told him to reduce his running. His friend told him that he's running too much. That if he stops running, he will score more goals. What happened? He scored a lot of goals. And I also use biomechanics to explain it to people. That when you run, there is high rush of blood to your brain. And when that happens, your vision becomes blurred. It's a thing that I have experienced, that I know. I was speaking from experience. But armchair critics who go to stadium just to watch game said, you can't say that. Why do you say that? But we saw the result at the end of the day. You guys were here. So sometimes when you judge, if you have a contrary opinion to somebody, say it. But don't say you want to attack me as a person because you have a contrary opinion. Your opinion is valid. But don't make it an attack, because if you do, and I come for you, and that's what you will not like. Now, if you know they like me, they criticize her. No, it's not like I don't like me, they criticize me. But the thing is, I just made an inference. And look at the large pool of people watching this show. Everybody will agree. Bukayo Saka is good, though. I'm not saying he's not good. Would Bukayo Saka walk into the Madrid team? The answer is no. Would Bukayo Saka walk into the Man City team? The answer is no. Would Bukayo Saka displace Mohamed Salah in the Liverpool team? Prime Mohamed Salah, let me decrease. You're not going to see by yourself. You don't understand. A Liverpool team that had Firmino, one of the most genius player that you can even put in the world class, if they sit down for bench on a regular basis. If that Firmino come into the Arsenal team, they go bench all the entire team for him to start. He go take any number, he go take any salary. That's football. And we must understand some of those basic tenets of the game. But hey, people would argue because they want to argue. The last one says Saka playing left back is good. With Foden, Saka, and Bellingham playing almost the same way, it makes them very predictable. 69 Football says a world-class player always shows up no matter the team they play for. A good example is Zinedine Zidane. Saka is not a world-class player. Allow me to say, Elegbata, thanks so much for all you've been doing for sports in Nigeria all through the years. Thank you very much. Arola Ayodeji says Mbappe shouldn't get involved in politics. He is being used by politicians who always have an agenda. It may burn him. I agree with you on that one. And then you have Additional laugh about who shared 10,000 naira with us. Thank you very much. He said, well done, Elegote. Bros, why you don't want to collect your book now? The book, the Gala does here. He said, Elegote, we are behind you. Thank you very much. Arola Ayodeji says, you have to be liberal in your views to continue to learn and grow in modern day world. Yes, in politics, it has to be. Being extremely is not good. Monique said, Elegote Baba, please, do you have any expo on who will be our new Super Eagles coach? No, I don't. I honestly don't. I wish I do, but I don't. Digital must say the standards of... don't have light. I'm supposed to call this my guy to on the light, to on general. This one right here. For this thing will go off on me like that. Oh boy. I forgot to. Adil must say the standard for wingers these days don't follow. How can you say Saka na world class? I beg you. Please make we calm down. We have not even. Ogbani, they don't take light to. You want my show off? Imagine. What's it called? Say please make we calm down. We have not even said Rodrigo is world class, and you are putting Saka Abegu. Sepmanik say, Uncle Elegbete, please, I would like you to invite me as a special guest for your daily show. No, you are not invited. No, you are not invited. Olatunji Emmanuel says, considering that United lack creative players, is going for Ziggy really what they need, considering that Højlund was short of service last season, and how good is Ziggy compared to Højlund? So the way Man United are going for Ziggy, they are not going for him as their lead striker. They're going for him as a backup because Rashford might go to Paris Saint-Germain or might move. So they need somebody else as backup. Anthony Martial has also left. What if Højlund got injured? Not necessarily. I will not agree with you 100% that they do not have creative players. I do not agree. The thing is, because you said in football, when a team is doing badly, every good player in the team is bad. Typical example is 2002 World Cup. France had the highest goal scorer in 3 leagues: Thierry Henry, Premier League, David Trezeguet to Serie A, Djibril Cissé, highest goal scorer in the French Ligue 1. But the middle was horrible, and it didn't work, and the team failed woefully. And everybody, Thierry Henry, Trezeguet, Djibril Cissé, everybody was seen as a bad player. Fast forward to 4 years later, where Zidane come back into that team. And it was the guy who makes Zidane, that's why he's world class. He makes everybody better. You know, he's a guy that brings the path to the whole, right? And they went all the way to the finals. I could swear that if he did not headbutt the Italian player, maybe they would have gone on to win it on penalty. Having said that, you look at the Man United team. I'm not one of those people who think that Bruno Fernandes is a bad player. No. I also think that the amount of injury, while I agree that in terms of coaching, Erik ten Hag have his good days and bad days and all that. In terms of coaching, he's not really had it all together. So that one is on one block. Players also, if you look at some of the most successful teams, you will notice that a group of players play week in, week out. Even if you're rotating, you're not rotating because of injury. You're rotating because of choice. So when you have the choice to rotate, you are able to finally say, okay, Foden, you have to play today. Kevin De Bruyne, you have to rest. Even if you go find your face like Mokiwe League line, but you have to rest. This one you have to do this one you have to do this. And then, okay, next game I'll bring you guys together. But when you are forced, your hands are tied behind the back, and maybe 3 of your key players are injured, you don't know when they're coming back, and then you have to like do a mismatch, there's always going to be a problem. So for Man United, I think that if they get Ziggy, the fact that he can play with his back to the goal, Ziggy can be compared to Victor Boniface without injury. And he can play hold up play, he can play link up, he can play back to the goal, he can play facing the goal. It's something that you need. And it got goals in it. If you can score a lot of goals in the Italian Serie A that is a lot more defensive, then you can score goals anywhere. But there are other factors that could also affect a player. Factors like the environment, the weather, some of the things like the things that affected Angel Di Maria. When Angel Di Maria came to Man United, people say not Sabi play ball. No, it's Sabi play ball. There were just things off the field that affected him that made him not to play well. Because you cannot be good at Benfica, Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain. Everywhere you've gone, and then you come to Man United, you have a bad season or two, and then they say you're not a good player. No, you've already established before all of us that you are a good player. Now it is now circumstantial. So for Man United, I think that they have creative players, and then with the rising of Mino and a few other players that are coming through the rank, and I think that they will still also buy some other players. I think that Man United should be a team to look at for, unless the coaching again, if it falls short. Okay, because Man U sometimes kind of remind me of Spurs. They get on a run when you don't expect them, and then when you start putting expectation on them, the pressure of expectation they just crumble. I just hope that they get it right. But Ziggy is not a bad buy for Man United or for any club at that. I think he's a good player. Maybe the conversation could go sideways if we start saying, oh, will they score 50 goals? No, I don't know about that. You understand? But I think if they have a stable team and the team is together for a while, they just might lose. Oluwaseyi Adebo always says, I think the meaning of world class is subjective to people. For me, a world class player is someone that will go straight into the starting lineup for any team in the world. That's a world class player. Does Bukayo Saka fit into that conversation? No. It doesn't fit into that conversation. It's as simple as that. You like, you agree, you like, you not agree. There are so many teams that Bukayo Saka would walk into and he would bench. So for that, I don't think he is. Yemi Dana might say if Bukayo Saka was world class, Arsenal would have won the EPL. Based on this, on his effort, straight-handed impact, Saka failed his team in the dying moment when he is needed. He is good, but not world class. I want to say Bukayo Saka's game is flat now. He hasn't improved. 2 seasons ago, he was on fire, but he hasn't gotten to that level again. Maybe he needs something off to rejuvenate his game. The thing, my thing with Bukayo Saka, so let me say bring in some players into the conversation. Ryan Giggs was able to show us consistently, and he was improving as he was going for 10 years. 10 years on the block. Marco Vermas from Ajax to Arsenal and then Barcelona was also able to show us 10 years of consistent, this is me, this is what I bring, this is my standard. You are going to play catch up, just the way Thierry Henry was, just the same way Anelka was. You're going to play catch up with me. Ian Robben and Frank Ribery is the quintessential example of that. From wherever I was playing in the Dutch league to Real Madrid to Chelsea and Bayern Munich, Ian Robben showed you that you see me, you can predict my move. I'm about to come inside, but I am so good at doing it. My speed, my engagement with the defender in front of me is so advanced that even though everybody know that this is what I want to do, I will do it cleanly, score the goal or create a goal. Bukayo Saka is not there. It's not there at all. Bukayo Saka is on the Moses Simon, Chukwueze. You know that thing they say about certain players, on his day, he's unplayable. Yes, on his day is unplayable. But you see, world-class players don't play on their day. World-class players turn up when it matters most. When it matters most, they turn up. And it is in that space that you now put players on the conversation and say, yeah, that's a world-class player. That's a world-class player. They decide big games. I mean, we've sat down here and we've seen European commentators ask question, is Kevin De Bruyne a world-class player? Kevin De Bruyne. Is he a world-class player? Are you going to go ask those people, say, which ball on I play? Because Kevin De Bruyne does not show up on the big games. When it matters most, my Rodri, you will see, or somebody else. When it matters most, Kevin De Bruyne will just filter away, start looking like somebody who lost coin, golden coin on the field, start looking forlorn, disconnected, disjointed, and you start asking, yeah, I mean, his passes is impeccable. He's that guy that sends the stadium into ecstasy and delirium. Yes, but there's a few question mark. You want to put Kevin De Bruyne and Bukayo Saka in the same conversation. If there's a question mark on Kevin De Bruyne, why would there not be question mark on Bukayo Saka? Because you're an Arsenal fan. No. Where did I stop? Yemi says, I remember you said that Osimhen won, Uncle E. You are almost perfectly spot on your prediction and analysis of players. Because I play the game. I pay school fees, go learn how to study players. Like scout players, look for what you need in a player. I pay money, 6,000 euros. Might be a joke. So if I did talk about that because apart from playing the ball, I go school. I went to ISB in Hamburg to go study around for 1 full year. I mean, one person will be fanatic fan. Shit, people talk rubbish. Somebody say Uncle Elegbete, but nobody see better pass Saka for Super Eagles. So you see, this is why he's not world class. You just prove why he's not world class. When you're talking of world class, compare him to the best. What have you just done? You compared him to a team that Benin Republic beats, a team that cannot beat Lesotho, Ghana, Zimbabwe, South Africa, full of home-based players. That's the team. That's where you're not comparing him to. That's telling you that he's not world class. Because if he's world class, you'll be comparing him with the best of his peers up there. You'll be telling me, oh, all the names that I've mentioned, no, he's better than them. You'll say Super Eagles. Who did for Super Eagles? No, who did Super Eagles now where you like compare Super Eagles? I don't understand. Notayam Rosegbe says you need to reduce how you analyze soccer. Soccer, apart from what you see, is also mental. Okay, so what you mean is I should reduce it how? Explain that part to me. If it is mental, the people, the Iron Robin, were they cyborg? Is it that this new ideology, when Alex Iwobi doesn't play well, we will say, let's check his mental health. If they're crazy, may they go psychiatric hospital. If they get mental problem, may they go psychiatric hospital. Because if I show up here and I don't give you quality analysis, you go judge me. You go agree, say, do you know what I'm dealing with mentally? I don't understand. You're playing football for us to analyze you. Say I should reduce it. Reduce it how? Like I should bring the standard low. Now jam cutoff mark for Northern Nigeria. Why should I bring it low? I don't understand. Why should I reduce it? I should reduce it so that I not tell you. Now this type of conversation we get. Yeah, when Arsenal signed Nicolas Pepe, I've not watched him in the French league. I only went to see statistics. So he scored 21 goals the previous season, blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, I'll watch him. I give him the benefit of that. First 5 minutes of watching him, and I said, there is nothing anybody would tell me this transfer was fraudulent. Nothing. And I said, just after 5 minutes of watching him, I tweeted, I said, there is nothing good coach can coach this boy. There is nothing good that can come out of him. And I remember saying as well that this guy will make Bellerin a bad player. He doesn't track back. Off the ball is useless. He scores some goals, which any Tom, Dick, and Harry can score. But when it comes to the structure of the game, which a lot of you guys don't understand, the structure and the dynamics of the game, it's like civil engineering. If you're going to build a house, first thing you do is you proper building, you do a soil test. Is this soil good enough to hold the casting of the foundation I want to put? That soil test will tell you the results. Then you decide what type of casting, what type of rod, what type of aggregate, which you call concrete, that you will put in. When you lay that already, that's good or great. But how do you put your producers? And every time I win, they're not there. Wilfred Bonny, I said the same thing. When Mitchell was scoring goals week in, week out, I said, this guy is going to for granted. Only Watkins, good player. Only Watkins is a good player. From Brentford to Aston Villa, he's a good player. If he was playing for Arsenal, scoring the number of goals that he's scoring, Arsenal fans will tell you that only Watkins is a world-class player. Harry Kane, but if center forward. But people still question reduce why should I finance? In Switzerland, I think they can play. Remember, I don't think Maka did. So Maka should have been the coach also panic, make changes, and they started defending. Spain, when Spain got to 1-1, I got to 2-1, they were like, you know what? Go for the blood. Let's go for the jugular. And they were just pumping forward. If I combated his chances, that would have been like the because he had more chances. But then again, the goalkeeper for Georgia, very, very good. That's the ones that are the best. That's why I also have. I think this is the best. They need to take the scrap of for a while now. This cancer has been eating me for a while now, and so it's not England. Not really world champion since they won the Billy Collar, but they are getting better. They have had a stronger test opportunity to remember Nigeria was already 3-1 down to Brazil in the Olympics. Once we won that game, every Nigerian knew that with Ortega and the rest of them, Nigeria was going to beat Argentina because we are now built momentum. And every team playing us was always going to be afraid of us. So England might just see this as momentum, but if you need to build momentum off the back of Slovakia, that tells it all about how bad your team is. But we would, keep our fingers crossed and see how it goes. I was telling somebody the other day that this England team, man, this England players, everybody is hyping. Imagine they were playing for Belgium and they don't have the media, the power of the media like England have. Do you know that a lot of them will be average? A lot of them. If Trossard was an English player, they'd be calling him world class player. If Trossard was an English player, they'd be calling him world class. Even Torgan Hazard, they'll be calling him a world class player. But hey, it is what it is. Sometimes you don't have everything the way you want to make it. So it is what it is. The way it always fall out to be. So for the Euros, I think that Switzerland will knock England out. But if they don't, they manage to escape. Maybe they drag the game into penalties. Again, England are not really fantastic on penalties anyway. But if they drag the game into extra time and then they win it, France might just take them to the cleaners. Because France, as bad as you might say they are defensively organized. Yeah, they are not shooting in front and then they have all the firepower, but they're not shooting in front. The midfield is not, clicking the way it should. But their defense is very, very organized. So we'll see how it goes. I don't really hear you say the word class has been abused, same as the word icon, okay? Commentators aren't even helping matters with their glorified hype. Yemi might say, I remembered asking you if Switzerland can emerge surprise winners at the start of the Euros. It was because they look like a more experienced and formidable team. And like you said, the standard has dropped too. Gaskin Rabo says that comment makes this podcast interesting, but when you revert to it, you insulted me first. Don't insult me and call it comment. Everybody is commenting. Ask yourself, how come I've not responded to people the way I responded to you? Insult does not make a podcast interesting. There is a golden rule. Never, it's everywhere. Never insult the man with the microphone. You will get burned. So, if you want to talk about justify your Bukayo Saka as a world class, justify it. But when you come from me, I'm not one of those people who food handle. Even when I was in Brilla, when they say NBC, they do this. I told them, I said, before I was signing for this contract, I declare back. If anybody calling on this show insult me, I'll not be Tony, I'll not be Raji. If you try them, I'll get back at you, straight up. And go as them Joe Baba, now make them stop to call Brilla. Because they don't get the heart. If you don't get the heart to take insult, no insult people. I know they start war, but I know they run from them. No, now you don't they touch you don't they feel bad. No. If you want to talk, give me reasons why Bukayo Saka is a world class. When you call me to question, I'm going to come at you. You invited me to your party. Don't tell me that I'm eating too much in the party. Right? You came to watch. I said Bukayo Saka is not a world class. If we go by votes, the comments of people already, you are dumb. Yes, but you want to put me on blast. Like, I insulted that today. No, we go insult each other. I tell you for free. If you sabi give them, sabi take them. No sabi give them when I give you. And why you do like this? No, comments make a show interesting. Insult doesn't. That's why this community, we're always talking. No insult, because if you do, you will get them back. Although I say, on his day is unplayable. Some players day na February 20th. I know a lot of players. Peter Crouch. When we started football live on Sundays early back in the day, and like Peter Crouch is a great player. I said, would you want him on your team? Say, no, but he's a great player. So your club need to sign great player. And then the argument will just start. I don't like players that are on their deal. I like players that are consistent. One women gave us the same standard of play from day one till he retired. Andre Pello first 3 or 4 years were not good. But when he found his mojo, he no stop till he end down. That's football. Patrick Vieira, Roy Keane. These guys, they give us the same football. They don't mean say they not get off days. But you see, your off day should not be your norm. Bukayo Saka, let me bring this Bukayo Saka. 2 seasons ago, part of why Arsenal failed was that, Bukayo Saka plays for 75%. It's a 75% battery. there is always that place where he go off, he go the trek, and because there is nobody to back him up, nobody competing in his position, he's been primed as a guy that needs to be the picture, poster boy of the club. He go play irrespective of what. And people will come up with this excuse that he's burnt out. And I was like, Arsenal doesn't play Champions League all the way to the finals. Arsenal have not played the FA Cup to the finals. Arsenal doesn't play the Carabao Cup to the finals. You have only the league to play, and a few national team engagements, you're burned out. There are people, Real Madrid will play Copa del Rey to the finals, play the La Liga to the finals, play the Champions League to the finals. Vinicius Junior is hammering every game, playing 90 minutes, and he's not burned out. They are not made of the same. Please, what did the team make? Now, jelly, the team make this guy. Is he a jelly? So some of these excuses we give for footballers, they don't follow. And then there's this other group of people that come. Have you checked their mental health? Am I his doctor? It's my job to check his mental health. I am judging him based on his performance on the field. If he's got mental health issues, he should not be on the field. I will respect that more. Okay, he's got problem. But once you agree, say you go wear the shirt and you play 90 minutes, I will ask of you of your performance. Your performance will be judged, will be put on a scale. And if it doesn't meet the standard, then we would have a conversation around it. It's as simple. Gareth Southgate went to the World Cup, got to the semi-finals, right? And won the top place, the bronze medal, if I'm not mistaken. He was hailed. This guy Southgate, now that same guy Southgate did this. We the judge him now. Spalletti, the whole of Italy just said he should be fired. Spalletti that won the league title with Napoli and everybody hailed him. Right? They just said he should be fired. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's coming to the Italian team, according to what they're saying in Italy, and he's messed the team up. The team is even worse now than they were before. Some people should be judged. Getting sentimental about it is not how it works for me, right? I have a Sunday listen interview to do in the next 30 minutes, so let me go and face it. I did have to say, my boss, Irabo, just as everyone has right to comment, I beg, this na educative channel. Some comments are just here for social media clickbait. We don't need it. I did have to say, Swiss made Italy so ordinary. Italy ordinary for this tournament, more honest. Now Croatia will not defend well. They're not even supposed to come up for the group stage. They were spot on. Don't allow the Arise get ahead. They are very hard to break down, though they had conceded a goal every game before that last game. Chika Ayalogo, thank you very much for contributing to making this show happen today. He said, I love the title of the video. Unfortunately, I think Switzerland beats England. Well, we should see who will be taking it. Is it French fries and fish on Saturday or Swiss chocolate? Unfortunately, they don't make cocoa in Switzerland, but they have more chocolate in Switzerland than in Cote d'Ivoire and other African countries that have this cocoa. That's how life is. The rich will always get richer and the poor will get poorer. Whatever you do, like I tell my son, don't be the prey. Don't ever be the prey. Whatever jungle you find yourself, be the predator and not the prey. Now put that into context. So I'm not saying you go be a doomity, but don't be the prey, because the goat does not eat animal. Does not mean the lion will not eat it. Have for yourself a wonderful day. I have an interview to do. Watch out for it. I'm sure you will like it. I'm sure you will like it. Suddenly say, I mean, it's a Zoom thing. It's not like see that it's a Zoom thing, but I'm sure you will like it. There's a few questions burning in my head that I think we should talk about, and it's going to be simple. All those plenty drama, not good. Just simple. In my head, I already have an idea of what I want to do with it, and you will see it. Do have yourself a wonderful day and be the very, very best version of who God created you to be. My name is Adafi Manchester. You love to call me the Legotan on Spurs. I've had fun today. I don't know if you have, but if you have not, try to have fun in another way. Bye-bye.